Do artists really have to starve to be true to their craft? Must the business side of creativity drain all inspiration? No, it does not. 5 minutes on creative entrepreneurship can help you master the business side of creativity, reap greater rewards from your talent, and enjoy your work to the fullest.
I'm so glad trouble don't last always.
Marketing your creative practice requires producing content that supports and validates your positioning statement. As we've explored in past episodes, it can be a major effort for creatives to commit themselves to a narrow positioning statement in the first place. But once you do, creating compelling content is not all that hard, especially for creatives. Producing the content once your positioning is established is relatively easy. But once you've written an insightful post or produced an explainer video or recorded a podcast, what then? How do you get your message out in front of an audience that cares? I'm Eric Holter, and I've been a serial creative entrepreneur for over 3 decades. After graduating from Rhode Island School of Design in 1991, I could cut and print beautiful wood engravings. But I had no idea how to run a business. They just don't teach enough about business in art school. Marketing is an uphill battle. It starts with the sheer cliff of adopting a narrow positioning statement, followed by the steep and steady climb of content creation, and then, having reached a summit, you have to cross the gorge of getting your message out. You can dedicate yourself to all the hard work of positioning and crafting messages, but if you don't finish that last mile, unless you get your refined message out in front of the right audience, it can all be for naught. So how do you get your message in front of the people who can benefit from your creative services? There are so many channels these days that any and all of them may be ones for you to explore, but before you can identify channels, you first need to identify the specific prospects you'll attempt to reach through those channels. And so you need to start building a list. The ability to easily build a targeted list is a key test of whether or not your positioning statement is narrow enough, or if it's too narrow, which is rarely the case. When your target market is anyone who needs creative services of just about any kind, then practically anyone can be added to your list. And when everyone is a target, no one is, at least as far as building an actionable list goes. But if, as we imagined last week, we had the positioning of a photography studio that specialized in shooting consumer food products, we know that we need to reach out to product managers or marketing managers at food manufacturing companies. And finding such prospects is easier now than it's ever been. When I was marketing my first company, the only way to build a list was to order expensive industry directories and manually work through those phone book-sized tomes, identifying potential prospects. Then you had to type in all their contact information. Rarely would you find an email address. And then setting yourself to mailing and cold calling your list. Building a prospect list was a manual, time-consuming, and expensive process. But today, building a list is as easy as buying a subscription to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator allows you to identify leads using all manner of filters such as industry, title, geography, seniority level, company size, and more. And when you identify prospects, you can tag them and save them to lists. Not only does LinkedIn make it easy to find leads, it also makes it easy to reach out to them. And here's a pro tip. You can filter any list based on the degree of connection you have to your prospects. First degree means you're already connected. Second degree means you have at least one other connection in common. And third means you have no common connections. But as you reach out to these prospects with appropriate connection requests, each time someone accepts a request, your second degree network grows. And if you're connecting to people within a specific industry, those connections can multiply quickly, expanding your network rapidly. Now, when you're prospecting on LinkedIn, you need to be respectful. Make sure that any follow-up is clearly targeted to their interests. Of course, LinkedIn is not the only platform or channel for reaching out, but it is the best platform for identifying your prospects in the first place. It sure beats long days of data entry from printed directories followed by hours of licking stamps. Next week, I'll share some additional tools you might need as you begin to reach out to prospects. So until then, don't let the business of creativity overwhelm your creative business.
5 Minutes on Creative Entrepreneurship is a podcast by Eric Holter, mentor to creative entrepreneurs. You can find more content and resources at erichholter.com. His book, Blazing the Freelance Trail, is available on Amazon in print, Kindle, and audio. If this podcast is helpful to you, be sure to share it with your colleagues, and ratings and reviews are always appreciated.
I'm so glad trouble don't last.